How's it going, guys? So for the past few, I would say months, I've been working with my friend Beyond, who sorta runs a YouTube channel ish. Does he still? I don't know. I think he hasn't uploaded in months, but that's beside the point. We've been thinking about having a tournament when it comes to like a month after the release of IS3, and since that we have been playing this Mizuki roguelike for about a week now, we decided that it's a good time to finally announce this tournament and share it with you guys. And the tournament is called Global Mizuki Cup. And you can see, yes, it is the beta run because there's some things that could be refined. Yes, for sure. But I think that this is a great beginning, and hence, we are deciding to make this a beta run, not our first technical run. Either ways, this tournament will be solely based on Surging Waves 15, and hence the making of this video to show you guys a run of Surging Waves 15, even though I would really like to say so, but I recorded this run when I was like half asleep, and I wasn't really doing well, and I forgot to record my voice, and hence I have to add my voice now. But that being said, I think we should begin this run of IS3, and I can tell you guys more about my strategies and my thinking process and whatnot while we look at this run. The details about the tournament I will briefly mention in the end of this video after I've talked about the run. Or you can just go into the description below and you can see this Reddit link. We decided to post like the rules and whatnot, everything in this Reddit post. So if you're interested and you just want to see that, you can jump straight through. And if you want to learn how to do 15, because obviously when it if my strategy works for 15, it's going to work with every single difficulty other than 15. So if you want to learn about that, you can also watch the full run. So let us begin. Now, as you can see, I have chosen people-oriented squad and Ling as my starting main operator. The reason is that it's consistent. People-oriented squad, I would say, is the most consistent squad to pick when it comes to difficulty 15. Obviously, other squads can be really strong as well, but out of all the squads, I would say people-oriented is the most beginner-friendly, and so is Ling. Other than Ling, though, you can definitely choose other starting 6-star operators. That you can choose Gavia Alter, you can choose Texas Alter, you can choose Horn start, you can do Summer Chen start. There's all sorts of ways to begin a run. It's just that for my almost asleep brain back then, I decided to go with a Ling. It's also a problem of like muscle memory. I've been doing Ling runs like so many times. I'm just so used to doing Ling now. I wouldn't really go with another operator, to be honest. But obviously, I would highly recommend you guys to try out other starters, especially if you want to have your own strategy, because this strategy is only mainly for the normal ending. But if you're participating in the tournament, there will be bonus points if you go with other endings. So that is that. So here you can see I got a specialist recruit ticket, which I definitely want Texas Alter, but because I don't have the hope, I will just have to go with Thermax. There will be other situations where I would grab the clone operator, but because I have enough ground operators, that wouldn't be the case this time around. So this stage is actually probably the worst stage for Ling as a first floor stage. In fact, out of all the stages in the first 3 floors, this is the worst stage for Ling, especially if you're talking about emergency version of this stage. There's probably like high likelihood that you will be leaking at least 3 enemies. You see the crocodile dude that is standing over there. There will be 3 elite enemies coming from that door, and you will most likely leak all 3 of those enemies if this was the emergency version of the stage, and maybe even more depending on your luck. So this is I would say the weakest point of this strategy. But since that this isn't really a emergency stage, we shouldn't have much problem. You might think, why am I saying maybe? Because I don't really remember if I leaked. I might have, since according to my memory, I lost a lot of HP and I won this run with like 1 HP left. So I will have to see how I performed when I recorded this video, when I recorded this run. But hopefully we're still good. So as you can see, the small dragons with Ling, perfectly fine. You don't even need her to be E2. Here I chose to give out a dice because I was afraid of me leaking more enemies, but I think it is perfectly fine this time around. That was probably a wasted die. I could have waited to actually counted how many enemies there are, and then I could have saved the die. But I got through, so that's all good. So a good strategy, I would say, in the first floor is try to take as many combat as possible. Obviously, I got a really good collectible here, getting extra deployment. The thing about Ling strategy is that you do want a lot of deployment operators. Here, I chose not to take Poziomka because I wanted to see that what the next stage could give me. I'm not really expecting anything good from the shop because if you guys have noticed, there's only 3 class of recruit tickets that can appear in the shop if you don't roll a dice. It's Vanguard, Casters, and Specialists only. So you can't really get a guard and whatnot. So yeah, I'm really putting my hope on this stage instead of trying to get Poziomka, mainly because I have Ling skill 2 as well if I really need a range operator as of the first 2 to 3 floors. And in here I would actually really prefer if I could get like a stronger ground operator like Texas Altar or Manar or Horn. Either would be great. Because yes, Ling Dragon is strong, but skill 1 Dragon is only block 1 and not as strong in general. So that's why I made the decision there, I would say. So as you can see with this stage, the main threat is really the sniper that can stun you. Anyone else isn't really a problem. So as long as I put my Ling dragons forward and they can just destroy the sniper, it's easy. Ling has many ways to deal with these stages because of her ability to summon so many dragons. Now, here we go. I leveled up. As you can see, we have so much hope. I could grab myself a Texas Altar here. Yes, very nice. So I would call this first floor to be a very successful one. I got quite a lot of combat and I got 10 HP. I have the node where if I have 10 HP or 9 or above HP, I can get 1 stack of shield every single combat if I don't leak. So that's why this is a very good run. I chose End of Times. This would actually become really handy down the road, but as of right now, as of the recording of this video, I completely forgot about getting this, and it would cause a, well, what can I say? A bit of a interesting situation. But yeah, that was kind of funny, to be honest. But let's see how we go. Here I chose to take a combat and then go into a shop again, did I? That is very odd because I should have chose the bottom route. There I could get myself another encounter, and that could actually benefit me more rather than just going to the shop without any money. But I wasn't thinking straight, like I said before. So it is what it is. So these stages are really simple if you have Texas Altar, but Ling would actually do the job perfectly fine as well if you just use her dragons correctly. And then yeah, like I said, like I'm doing right here. Cruz should have faced down. What was I doing? So if I had Cruz down, facing down in the middle, she would kill a lot of enemies. But I guess I was thinking using Texas Altar to clear them out. If I didn't have Texas Altar there, Cruz would be in the middle facing down instead of this strategy. But yeah, it's fine. This stage is extremely simple. I don't think that any of you should have any trouble with this stage. So this is a not as important of a stage to talk about, I would say. Now the remaining 5 enemies, we could just clear out with Texas Altar, easy peasy, and GG's. Also, if you're running on an emulator, if you're playing on an emulator, I would highly recommend you to set a keybind hotkey for your skill activation and your retreat operator. Those would definitely benefit you. Here I choose a click, not because I really wanted a click. It's just because it's free, so why not? So as you can see, if I took the bottom route, I would be perfectly fine, to be honest. Nothing would have really changed. I could have gotten myself an extra encounter rather than this shop, which I had $2 for. That was a bad decision to make there. So that might come and hurt me down the road, but it's perfectly fine for now. This stage is, I would consider to be one of the more annoying stages in the second floor if I didn't have Texas Altar. The thing about this stage is that the sniper that I just killed there, he can shoot anywhere on the field, and hence, like, if you put down Ling alone early, the sniper would just keep shooting Ling for free. And in the case of the emergency version of this stage, Ling could actually die to that before she could actually get another medic, because you want an operator that can block enemies, and then you want to put down Ling, and then you want someone else to heal Ling. So that's a lot of things to do. And you probably won't have enough DP if you didn't have a Vanguard in this timing, which is also a huge problem of Ling. When it comes to Ling as a starting operator, you have to consider about 2 things. One is deployment limit, and the other thing is DP. And I'm really choosing the clone operator. So you knew that, I believe many of you would know that out of all the beginning operator, like the 3 operator that you can choose, one of them would be a guard ticket. The reason I chose the Vanguard clone instead of like any other of the guard operators, even though they have higher stats, is actually because they have higher DP cost to deploy, while the Vanguard clone is only 10 DP. And that's the main reason why I chose him, because as long as I can stall the enemies enough to deploy my Ling Dragon, I really wouldn't need any other operators. So that's why I chose the clone. And having a clone can also come in very handy if you get you know, those new debuffs where if you go into a new floor and you roll a bad die, and you know, you can get like HP, attack, and everything decreased to half or whatnot. Having a lot of clone operators can also like just act as like a shield in case you get unlucky. As of now, I would probably get... I should have gotten myself an E2 click, to be honest, instead of getting Shuit. I don't really understand what I was doing here. But emergency dispatch, I could definitely E2 my Ling. So having an emergency dispatch in the end of a floor is definitely the best thing. But if you get it in like a start of a floor, you could also go down and see like what other stages you might encounter. Let's say if you're in the 3rd floor and you're encountering a boss, then you can choose, okay, I might, like, you know, send out someone that doesn't affect my strategy as much. So here we have some hope, and melee units have plus 15 attack. I would definitely choose the plus 15% attack one because I have more than enough hope. And here I rolled a 6, which gave me an extra item, which increased my summons ability. That's good. But the curse collectible that I got is absolutely garbage. So that's not... I wouldn't say it's the best situation, but it's acceptable. It's acceptable. And I would probably go for the opportunity stage where I can actually exchange out that cursed collectible, because plus 25% HP to all enemies can become very deadly in some of the like 4th and 5th floor difficult stages. So I definitely would have went that route if it is me right now. Let's see how it is. So I decided that I don't have enough hope DP to deploy my Ling plus a big dragon, and hence I use my Texas altar as a starter. I would probably retreat her after killing this thingy, and then hope that I could deploy a dragon ASAP, and I would think I failed to do so. Yes. If we had paused deploy in global, that probably would have been fine, but obviously we didn't. So that's that. Here I'm using the clone operator, who is decreased by, who has all the stats decreased by half. And so it's only 5 DP to deploy. It's fine as a stalling operator. And here we go, the big dragon in the blue gate, sealing the majority of the problems out. As long that is there, I don't think there's really a way for me to lose. Here I place down my cruise without realizing that she's getting hit from the top. This is definitely me not concentrating. That's actually not the best thing. But obviously, it's fine. I have the dragons. It's no big deal. And here you will actually see why I say having good DP operator is very crucial. I almost couldn't deploy any operators, and I got two big dragons out, which should solve 99% of the problem in this stage, I would say. Big dragons will rarely die. Here I'm trying to help my Texas altar clear out the thing that will throw like these sea urchin things at you. And it definitely worked out. Texas altar destroyed it. And that's the end of this stage, basically. Because all there is like these range enemies who can't really kill my dragons, because I have the summon creatures has plus 30% on a lot of stats thingy. That collectible is very OP, to be honest. So I don't see me having any problem, despite the enemies have plus 25% HP. And there we go. GG's. Oh, wait. There's something? Oh, there's a dog. Okay. Dogs are very simple to deal with, to be honest, as long as you have Texas altar. I did not see that. So here I had no deployment limit. I thought I retreated click, but I actually didn't. So I was thinking, wait, why can't I deploy Texas? And so I finally retreated, and then I pushed the dog into the dragon. And hence, even if it stuns me, I would have no problem. And just 2 big dragons, Texas, plus a small dragon, blocking and then attacking the dog. It's easy kill. Now, as you can see, I was only losing my shield because I have more than 8 HP, so it's perfectly fine. I got a key in which I would just open the cache, because why not? I don't need 2 keys on me. Victory Horn comes in very handy because of Texas. So that was actually a really good collectible to get, and I got plenty of hope. So here I'm actually considering what 6-star I'm grabbing. I'm either grabbing Horn or Poziomka, in which I actually chose Poziomka here because I have the big dragon, and I also got Texas altar. My ground operators is perfectly fine. Here I decided to ignore the knight, because, you know, this is just a showcase video of how to do a normal run, not how to be OP at the game and just get the highest score possible. If you want that, that might be the next video. I'm not really sure yet, because that will take quite a bit of luck and a lot of skill, to be honest. I can say if I am lucky enough, I can do it, but I can't really say that I can do it easily every single run. So this stage would be very easy if I actually had chosen a Horn, but I made the bad decision of choosing Poziomka, and hence I'm pretty sure I'm going to leak quite a few enemies. Not because I remember this, but because I know, looking at my operators and my team, this is not going to be a good run for a good stage for this team comp. I will leak a lot of enemies. I'm pretty sure of it. And that's the downside of this, of using Ling. It's that she just requires so much DP to just drop down operators. And if I had, let's say, I don't know, Cantabile or something, I would be totally fine here, but because I don't, it is going to be what it is. It's not this. It's not as smooth as I would like it to be honest. And there's a leak, which could have been prevented. And here I decided to block this red dude, which is actually not the best choice because the small dragons will be destroyed in a matter of seconds. Slow down. And I made a bad mistake of not using my Texas there again. But either ways, I could have at least leaked one less enemy if I wasn't greedy with the red guy and just use my Pozumka skill on the Wraith. Looking at this run, I feel so embarrassed. Why did I decide to show you guys this run? But to be honest, if I were really to record it again, I probably wouldn't even do even better because I find myself to be not doing as well when I'm recording videos and doing IS3 Surging Waves 15. Difficulty 15 is too difficult for my little brain for me to try to entertain or to make a video at the same time as I am doing it. So yeah, it doesn't end up that well, to be honest. Yeah, I'm using the typewriter a bit, but that's an extra 2 leak. It's a very poor run, I will admit. But because I had Texas Alta, which, you know, solves 99% of the problem when it comes to IS3 difficulty 15, it's all good. It's all good. I would say that's another leak because I couldn't make the right decision there. Why medic? I have no idea. I probably just took Anta out for no reason. But here we go. These last 2 Wraith captains shouldn't be a leak because I have Texas Alta. And then when the last guy comes around, I could also do another Pozumka hit. That's a -5 and only 7 HP left. This could have been down to -3 at -2 or -3 at most. -2 at most, I would say. This was perfectly... This was a really bad run, I would say, of this stage. Could have done better. So I was thinking, well, I definitely am not doing well enough. So I decided to get another collectible, trying to improve my own strength, which is a huge failure. But I got E2 Pozumka, which is very strong. And here I would get rid of the collectible. Yes, so this is actually... Afterwards, I actually considered that the biggest reason that I actually lost was due to the lack of, well, DPS, which is mainly caused because that I had this cursed collectible. So I got rid of it ASAP. And this stage would actually be the easiest stage for Ling because this is the same mechanic as, if I recall correctly, chapter 10 enemies. And Ling just counters this stage perfectly with her big dragon. As long as you have E2 Ling, this stage should be no problem whatsoever. Oh, I made a mistake here. Right. I retreated my Texas, forgetting that they split out another enemy. Right. Now I remember it. Oh, yeah, I must be really pissed at myself at this point. Yes, I remember it now. I really shouldn't have retreated my Texas there. What was I thinking? But it is done, so it is what it is. Here, I decided to take my revenge on these mobs by bullying them with 2 dragons plus Ling skill 3. I could do it because, you know, it's fine. There's no way I could, well, lose this stage. It's a very simple stage. If I didn't make that mistake, that is. 2 big dragons out. Then here I knew that my gate, like my blue gate, is perfectly safe. And hence I decided to cut down the car at the right. So that is actually a very important step. Because if you leave that car around, all these enemies could actually do elemental damage to well, whatever your unit is that is blocking these enemies, and they would just kill you. Like, no matter who it is, even with Ling's dragon, they can die with the elemental damage. So you must have at least some sort of damage to kill the car on the right. If I didn't have Texas Altar here, I would actually face Pozemka to the right to kill the car ASAP. And anyone who has like high burst damage should do the job. If you have Lenar E1, his skill 2 can actually do the job as well. So as long as you have some sort of damage, you must at least keep some sort of damage for the right side. And for the left side, all you need is just enough block. If you don't have enough block for this stage, you're dead, basically. Here I got medicine sticks, which is way too OP, to be honest. I felt like I was cheating at this point, but it ended up being, well, not quite enough, sadly. So here I would switch on an operator for Horn, because definitely best to have Horn in this stage. Texas should definitely be skill 3. Okay. Imagine not taking it. Yes, Texas skill 3 is the best on this boss, because she can bait out all 3 of his ammo without letting him dealing a single shot to her. So Texas Altar is like the soul for this stage, I would say. Obviously, if you have a lot of like clone operators that you can just use to bait the damage, that's also fine. But in this case, this is also okay. So I decided to go with dragons here. I think that's fine. I think going with a big dragon ASAP is definitely the best choice here as well. Pozemka early out, and I think that is my overall decision. I would want to kill the boss ASAP with Pozemka. In that case, I should have switched my Ling and Pozemka position. Oh, I was probably afraid of the final 4 of these red elite enemies, because they could actually hurt my my operators more. They're more of a threat than the boss himself. So I think that is why I chose Pozemka down here. And here I'm using my Horn to deal damage to the boss, basically. If Horn was E2, her skill 3 here could actually kill the boss. Very OP. Here, I made the decision to actually kill the boss right here, which is actually perfectly fine. My biggest problem with this is that I didn't have a Vanguard, and hence, if you can see the scout up the top, that can actually reveal all of your invisible units. Yeah, I didn't have DP to deploy any operator to stop it, and hence my Ling died. But that's just DP problem. There's not much I could do about that. And these are the 4 last guys, which I decided to use Ling for, which is a Pozemka for, which I would say is a very great choice, because they actually hurt way more than the boss, to be honest, for me. They are way more of a threat. So Horn dies, doesn't matter. I have my range operators, my Pozemka, easily dealing with them. So yes, this strategy is perfectly fine. Good strategy. Good strategy. So here's the end of floor 3. I got the range operator collectibles, tickets. I got 2 collectibles. I could use Wrath of Syracusans, but I thought that not much of my operators could actually take advantage of it, so I chose enemies having less attack to, you know, make my run more safe per se. Personally, here I would grab myself a better medic, which is Telopsis. I don't really need any other range operators as much anymore. I could use a caster if I didn't have a good medic, but having a good medic is definitely the most important thing here. So here's the special thing about this floor, is that I get more money, but I can't bring them. It's fine, doesn't bother me at all. It's probably the most harmless one. So here I don't get why I went with the top. I should have went with the bottom and then went up. There I could, even though I can't really choose between what stage I want to take on, but I could actually have it. I could actually have one more combat, which would have been really beneficial. I made another bad mistake there. I chose Texas. I chose this stage because obviously Texas Alter perfectly counters this stage. If you don't have E2 Texas Alter though, that would be a completely different story. She needs to be E2. For this, well, for her to deal with the, you see those flying creatures at the left that are just standing still? Those are a huge threat, and having Texas Alter to stun them and knock them to the ground will make this stage like the easiest stage ever. Other than Texas Alter, you could use any operator with like freeze, stun, and sleep and whatnot. They all do the job. But obviously for me, Texas Alter is the easiest one to use out of all of them. Another great operator that I would highly recommend is Cruise Alter. Her skill 2 at E2 with 20% chance to stun and quadruple shots at the end, like in the latter phase of her skill 2, is actually very strong against these. So that's also a great choice. Here I wasn't really watching and my dragon died, so I should actually deploy another operator to aid out my horn and give her some medic and whatnot. But since the biggest threat is already cleared with my Texas Alter, it's no real big deal, to be honest. It's pretty easy. Here I would say Pozhumka can come back. She's not really doing much anymore. I could stack myself another big dragon, but meh, big deal. It's a smooth enough run. Here, I think I wasn't supposed to put out click. I was gonna do the big dragon, but my hand slipped by like 5 centimeters. And I grabbed my click. I don't really understand what I was thinking. I was half asleep. It might sound like an excuse, which it is, but trust me. Here I would grab Myrtle, which is actually the best choice as in my opinion. And I got lucky, and I got another collectible from the cache, which only happens when you roll a 5 or a 6, a 5 or above with your die. So if you have the collectible that can upgrade your die, or if you go with the squad that can upgrade your die, those will have a better chance at opening that cache. But it's fine. This stage is actually a very challenging stage when it comes to having, like, I would say you would want a really balanced team for this stage. You want good damage, you want good healing, you want good DP, you want good enough of everything to make this stage actually work. And I didn't have that. And I think that was my biggest problem. I didn't have enough DP per se. Obviously, it's better than a lot of runs that I've done, but also I didn't have E2 Horn. E2 Horn is actually what I really wanted here. And E2 Minar. E2 Minar is like the killer of this stage. And not having him here is very painful, I will say. Not having E2 Minar here is very painful. Usually I would put E2 Minar at where I have Myrtle right now. And that actually works really well. But sadly, I didn't get a single guard ticket yet in this entire run, which is, I would say, the biggest reason why I failed as much. So, as of right now though, Telops' skill 2 can keep my horn alive. These block 3 dudes are very tanky. So, kill them ASAP, and you must have someone to block them. So, this is why I decided to go with this position with my Pozhumka. The typewriter can also aid my horn quite a bit at that position. So, yeah, this is a really good position for my Pozhumka, I would say. So here comes the Rat King. I decided to kill the Rat King ASAP, and I wasn't looking at the bottom left, and hence I leaked. It is very bad, I would say. Click goes on and attack the Rat King, which is at half HP now, which is actually pretty good. Another leak. It is bound to happen, to be honest. But yeah, what can I say? Lunar is really OP, and I rely on him way too much. If you found yourself a guard ticket, get yourself your Lunar ASAP. He's worth it. Now, because my Pozomka skill was still active, I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. Let's kill the Rat King ASAP. Let's kill the Rat King first now. And I think that will cause... Oh, not much, really. Not really another leak. But this one. This one is inevitable, I would say. But otherwise, I think we're all good. I would cut on this dude with dragons. I thought I could fuse the one I had before into a big one, but I didn't realize where it was facing, and hence I checked on it. But yeah, it's no big deal. That's a win. And I was saying, oh yes, here's a hidden enemy that I could not kill because there was no way I could kill the duck. So I decided I would just take down the chest for 2 extra money, and I would leave the duck alone. Because, yeah, under no circumstances I would be able to kill this duck, to be honest. I used all of my skills. So that's the stage. To be honest, I wasn't really lucky on the operator recruit ticket front of this run, but it was perfectly fine when it comes to like getting more HP and whatnot. So I can't really say this is a bad run. It's just not a lucky run. So here I think I should grab another specialist, like Project Red would be pretty nice. Oh, I chose Dorothy. Yes, Dorothy is actually a huge brain play in my opinion. I really could use her here. The only thing is that I would really like her to be E2 for her to deal enough damage, because enemies do have really high resistance, and E2 getting those extra stats would definitely help me, would definitely help her. But yes, Pozumka, Dorothy, I'm really proud of that I actually grabbed, even though it didn't really work out like I liked it to be. She does require a lot of DP to utilize. So this stage is actually one of the easier stages as long as you have an E2 Texas Altar. So I'm not that worried about this stage, to be honest. This should be completely fine as long as I bring out my Texas Altar. So here I'm just going to bring out my Pozumka to kill the drones and kill the random mobs that are coming my way. Dorothy for the lols, why not? And then another dragon to take out the chest. So here I would say, oh yeah, there's the guy that would summon the drones. I could have left it alone, but I didn't want it to, I guess, for some reason. Big dragons, no problem. And here I would bring out Horn to aid my dragons. And I was thinking of activating the devices in this stage, because if the device do die, you will lose HP. So yeah, that's one thing to prevent of. Yeah, I was thinking I could use the dragon to bait some of the drones. Wasn't necessary. And I had to retreat that drone, that dragon, because if there's another enemy coming that will require a slot for my Texas Altar, this guy. So yes, I had to retreat that dragon. But everything else is pretty fine, I would say. So that goes down into the hole, suiciding, Texas Altar. You must retreat your Texas Altar in time. You can't just like, oh, maybe I can kill the enemy. You don't have to worry about that a lot of the times. You just want to you just want to utilize her stunning ability. Is that a pun? Not intended, definitely. So here I decided to take out the drone because I was afraid that it was going to kill my Pozumka. And the final 2 enemy, which you can just stun both of them all at once with your Texas Altar. And that's the end of this stage. Fairly simple stage. as long as you have E2 Texas Alter. If you don't, Cruise Alter would do perfectly fine where Podzomka or Dorothy is. Does basically the same job. As long as you stun them, it's all good. And here we go. I only have 5 HP left. I think I should get another HP collectible around here. Oh, I think I should E2 my Dorothy here? If I was smart? Yes, I did E2 my Dorothy here. What was I missing? Oh, right. And then later on, I used her way too much and I ran out of DP. Yes, I would E2 my horn here. Actually, a very good move from me, I would say. And I think I should be grabbing Hope. I was like, I don't need Hope anyway. So I didn't reroll and it gave me 4 Hope. So it was like, yeah, the game wanted to give me a lot of hope. Horn has returned with E2. And here I would say, okay, what do I want, right? What do I want? Do I want Safe House? Yes, I want Safe House because with people-oriented squad, if you have the talent tree leveled up, you could actually use the Safe House twice. And since top and bottom has the same amount of combat, and I could use Safe House twice, I chose the top. I would say that's the biggest reason why. Safe House is definitely what was in my mind. So the Faithful's Utopia is a very simple stage. You would just drop down Texas to stun. You can't put them, you can't try to stun all of them at once because they will actually activate their attack faster than Texas's stun. So you must only stun them like 3 at a time. In the CN version, where we have pause deploy, you can actually stun all of them at once by just baiting their attack animation. But we cannot do that in the global version. So that is another strategy that is cancelled because of our, what can I say? Because we're global. And hence we don't get it. It's that simple. Global players just don't have pause deploy anymore, so we can't do it. So here we go. The drone guy comes around. Texas gonna stun them. Texas is also gonna bait the drone, and hence nothing can really happen. And we're safe. Now we're gonna do Ling, which we can use the dragons to help us, you know, clear out some of the ground enemies. I'm gonna wait for them. Stun the guy that is on the hoverboard. Here, I really should have retreated my Texas Alter earlier, but I didn't. That is not the best thing. And then the drone guy from the left, I must bait the drone. And the top, I'll need to stun with Texas Alter. So, and I think you can see now on the top left, my Podzomka actually dealt with a drone there. That's why Podzomka sits there all the time. It is actually the safest place for her, and really the only place that would really need her, to be honest. Her Podzomka sitting there would just help with the left lane, top left lane enemies, and also deal with the drone. Because that drone can go from the right or the bottom towards the blue gate, so you don't actually know where it's gonna come from. So why don't you just camp at the door and just kill it before it can even leave? That's why Podzomka's always there. And GG's. This stage is fairly simple. I don't think it's that hard, as long as you have like a decent amount, like a decent enough team comp. And by the time you're at 5th floor, you should be fine no matter what. Now I would take a recruit ticket. I would probably go with someone that I don't need. Gnosis. It's fine. I have enough hope. I was just wasting hope. And I didn't want to do that cash because I had only 1 dice roll left. And I was thinking I could save that for later. Here I would choose 2 max life points so I could recover some HP in case something really bad happens. And something bad really happened. It's this stage, which I should be able to do if I had enough DPS, like a Mlinar or someone else with like better damage. But my team comp was more surrounded on killing Highmore. And I really wanted Mlinar, to be honest. Out of all the operators that I really need, I have Horn, Texas Altar, and Pozomka. All I really need was Mlinar. I didn't have him. And this is where I would die, I would say. So at this stage, I think most of you would already know that this is a very disgusting stage. But here we are. I'm still trying to, you know, I pretty much knew I'm dead. So I was kind of half giving up, to be honest. I wasn't expecting myself to clear this. But I was still trying to struggle. Here I made my first mistake of putting my typewriter toward like downwards where I should have faced right. That was a really bad mistake. Here I have Horn in her usual position. Horn will always sit here no matter what. This is the official position for Horn. And Texas Altar help dealing some damage to those like throwers. It's not going to do much, to be honest. I'm just trying to do as much as I possibly can. And you can see me just throwing down a lot of mines for absolutely no reason. I didn't have my mine set. I was just doing whatever. And here I'm going to have my first leak on the Myrtle's side. That is definitely very sad. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't thinking as straight as I possibly could have. I was trying to use my mines to actually deal with those enemies quite a bit more. And I would try to use my Ling's Dragon to at least stop some enemies, because Myrtle alone ain't gonna stop the enemies, to be honest. Here the guy starts charging in, so I was like, maybe Texas Altar could help me stun them a bit. And then just hold them off. I was using Pozomka, trying to deal some damage at the same time. This is bound to be a failed strategy, and the as you can see, the thrower down below is also approaching my Horn, and I wanted to prevent my Horn dying and me just losing out on the DP, so I just retreated her immediately. I saw the mob coming through the bottom, so I was like, I can use the mine's AoE capability to also deal some damage, maybe to even kill it, but it would be proven to be not enough damage. And hence I had to retreat my Pozomka, because no matter what, I can't afford losing out on the DP. I failed to retreat her. I even failed to, oh my god, what was I doing? What was I doing? But as you can see, the thrower died because they would just be leaking. They would just be losing HP over time. So how many of you would remember that I have this collectible called End of Time? Yeah, so the effect of that thing is, even if you decide that usually you would just die, right? And it would just revive you, keep you alive, and give you 1 HP. But in fact, if I just leave the stage, it would say that I have lost, but it would give me plus 1 HP. So remember how I had 11 HP when I came into this stage? Yeah, I could have had 11 plus 1 if I just left immediately. Instead, I lost all my HP, and now I am at the second half because I canceled my recording, and I thought I lost. So I stopped my recording, and I realized, oh my god, I had that collectible. So I continued with only 1 HP, thinking, well, either ways, if I'm gonna die, at least I'll give it a chance, you know? I thought I could give it a chance. So I continued on with only 1 HP left from the collectible End of Time. And the fact is that my team comp was actually so completed for the majority of the stages in the 5th floor. I think I still win in the end. And that's why you guys even see this video, to be honest. As you can see, I'm just dropping down a lot of my operators. I was thinking when the pipe guy comes out, I can use Pozumka's typewriter plus Gnosis to deal some damage to the guy, but it wasn't enough. That is perfectly fine. I'm using Texas Alter here to try to cut it down. It's fine, even if it isn't quite enough. It's fine. Here I have my medic for my horn in case, you know, it takes those stupid sea urchin things, and Pozumka just finishes the elite enemy, the pipe guy, off. So that was a pretty smooth kill, I would say. Here I'm just dropping Dorothy because it's fun, and because AoE damage is also good. Then Ling plus Dragon just to hold the enemies and then bait some of that things. Second wave of enemies comes out, I would have Pozumka's skill activated, and she would just kill the majority of them really easily with that as well. As you can see, the pipe guy is like dead at this point. Very easy. And all there is left to do is just kill these knights, which ain't really a problem because they just walk around top, bottom, left, right. They just don't go in. And it just gives us plenty of time to finish them off. So at the top I have Horn, skill 1 to deal with them. So all there is really is just the bottom. And once they're done, it's GG's. I think the knight just walks down, yeah. Kills himself. Very easy. So here I thought, well, I have a chance. Maybe if I could get Minar now, right? I still have a chance to win this. Make it easy. And I'm gambling. Oh, no Minar. So I'll probably grab myself my E2 Telopsis. I should E2 Telopsis here. Yes. The extra tile from E2 Telopsis and her module is very important. Here I would choose to get Minar for sure. Even E1 is fine. I would just... In this situation, because I have $33, I would just buy out everything. And what I can actually do is after buy out everything, I can do a refresh with the dice. Or am I not buying them? I should be buying them, right? I buy out everything I can. Roll with the dice. I only got 2, but if I got 6, that would be even better. I'm going to E2 my Minar here. I got really lucky. And since I have E2 Minar, I am 100% confident that I can make a little bargain with Cannot. And here we go. The best thing to do with the shop. Rob him. I mean, have a little conversation with him so that he would give us a good discount. So this stage can be very hard or easy depending on how Cannot will decide like what he wants to do with the enemies. And hence there's actually a lot of randomness when it comes to this stage. So you can't just fully copy my skill activation timing and whatnot. It's not going to be the same for you. But you can see why I'm putting my Minar here down the road. Here I'm just waiting for my DP, and this is one of the effects that Cannot will do on the enemies. He will let them fall asleep, and during this time they are basically invincible unless you have an enemy that can actually hit enemies that are asleep. Yeah, I would finish that off, wait for the enemies to come out. Minar, start killing all of them. I put down my Horn there. That is the typical spot for Horn. I don't see... I wouldn't see myself ever putting Horn anywhere else. And Nose is there just as a little backup. Same with my Ling. You can see that this stage, this run isn't actually quite as smooth. I had quite a rough start. And because Cannot will just apply all these like random, really disgusting buffs towards the enemies, I had to act according to what happens. So here, Cannot is blocking the enemy's HP at 1. So the thrower can just keep throwing and faster. So I was afraid my Lenar would die. I activated everything I could, which kind of screws with my timing again. So canceling out my typewriter, I would decide to stall them with my Dorothy mine. And I'm just stopping them outside. I'm just really waiting for Lenar's skill, because as long as I can get Lenar's skill back up, it's a win. As long as Lenar's skill comes back up, it's a win. So here I'm using Poziomka and other operators to really buy myself some time. But cannot be like, oh, you activated your skills, then my mobs will go to sleep. That is how unfair it can sometimes feel. Like, no matter what you do, Kenna will just screw over your skills. So here I decided to go with Manar, because of course, and gonna push the crocodile back a little bit so that it's in Manar's attack range. And here enemies have their HP locked at 1 again. Very nasty, cannot. But here we go, the last wave of enemies, which has only 8 of them. They're asleep now, but that is perfectly fine. I was fine with the sleeping timing this time around, so that's all good. Here I can activate all my skills at once and just finish them off. Now Manar is ready, so activate Manar's skill. And as long as they don't lock their HP, which cannot does, so because enemies' HP are locked, I have to use Texas Alter to stun all of them in place. And GG's. Easy. Business conversation. Yes. This is for business. Business talk. And I got myself a specialist voucher. I could grab myself a red, I would say. Yeah. I'm grabbing Project Red for the boss. And since, you know, I just take everything and I can keep going. Downtime recreation, I have no money, so that is completely ignored. And here we go, the boss fight. I am going to make sure that I have the skills that I want for all my operators, bring the operators that I need. I'm going to change my Horn skill to skill 3 because I want Horn to deal damage to Highmore, the boss, instead of the mobs. If I were mob killing, I would bring skill 1. If I were killing the boss, I would bring skill 2. Ling skill 1 because I wanted to use a dragon plus the medicine stick to block Highmore, the boss. And so because the skill 1 small dragon is way cheaper, I chose skill 1 rather than skill 3. So here we go, your typical formation. Manar always stands there. Telopsis always stands there. You will see this position from me every single time. And yep, they'll sit there. At the timing of the fish coming out from the top right is always fixed as well, so I always put down my Texas Alter there once. Here I would see, oh yes, my horn, by the way, horn position is also always there. Here I ran out of high ground, so I just put my Dorothy on ground. I didn't want to put her in the center. And yes, Ling down as well, in case I need to drop something. So as you can see, I have way too many deployment limit. It was too easy. And I was afraid of those enemies in the middle charging out. So I decided to put down Texas Alter there to finish them off. Manar can activate skill around here once before the boss even appears. And then he will be actually in time. By the time when boss comes out, he can activate his skill again and cut down the big waves of the enemy. Big waves of the enemy, yes. Myrtle here, you can actually see the only reason I can put Myrtle here is because she is E2 and she can self-heal. These shells actually can't harm your E2 Myrtle. So having her there is perfectly fine most of the time. Now the boss is out, but I won't put down my Texas Alter immediately because I have to wait. See, the top right also has a floating enemy coming out at the same time. So I'm waiting for both of them to come out and I can put down my Texas Alter. Manar activates skill. Here, there are actually 2 strategies that I could take. I could block Highmore there, but that's actually a very bad idea. I did it because I wanted to make sure that I could deal just enough damage to fasten my kill a little bit more, and I'm activating typewriter over there, because as long as you block the boss in this position, the typewriter can barely reach, and the second phase of the boss's the boss will emit an aura to slow all your operators' attack speed. Well, all your units' attack speed, and the typewriter can also be affected by that. So that's why typewriter will also go there, always go there, so that you can clear off the boss from that range. Now here we go. We're going into the phase 2 of the boss. You must have a stun operator for this at all times, and it can't be Project Red because Project Red cannot stun air units. So there we go, Texas Altar, and I have activated my horn skill just to kill off the boss ASAP. And that is actually not enough, I would say. Here I'm going to use red to push the boss back as well. And I'm waiting for my typewriter from my Pozumka. Pozumka is typewriter ready, Pozumka ready, skill activated. Start shooting, start shooting. I'm seeing, okay, I don't have any operators or any units that I can drop down, but Texas Altar is almost there, so Texas Altar can go down, but that is out of my reach of my typewriter, so I retreated my typewriter. Horn can activate her skill again because she's in that ring of the collectible. If not because of that ring, I cannot do that. Then I'll have to wait for the boss to... I have to stall the boss there for even longer, which is not quite viable. But this time around, yeah, it's fine. Now, if I didn't have 1 HP, I could let the floating enemy on the right just go, and I can focus on the boss. But that's not the case this time around. So I have to knock off every single enemy on the right side. And hence, I'm just letting my horn deal with the boss. And since I knew that the boss is only like low HP, it's perfectly fine. Now I stun the enemy on the right. There's another one coming out, but it's perfectly fine because they will stand there for quite a long time, and your Texas Altar will always be in time. It's all good. Texas Altar comes down and finish them off. 3 more enemies left. Red, and then Texas Altar down there to finish them off. And there we go. That is basically how a difficulty 15 run looks like. This is not the smoothest run. Like I said, I made way too many mistakes on the road. I was really tired back then. And it is what it is. So about the tournament, we will be having these Google thingies where you can apply for the tournament, and you'll have to show a proof of your Surging Waves 15 clear, difficulty 15 clear. How you can always check, it's all in the form, so you can just check the form on how to show your proof and whatnot. And because the tournament will be fully based on difficulty 15, I hope you guys will be able to do it. Oh, for sure. Other than that, there will be a lot of rules surrounding you can actually restart once to go for special endings during the 3rd floor. As long as you haven't finished the 3rd floor, you can always restart, but you cannot reroll because as an example, if you want to reroll for a E2 Summer Chen start with the sniper medic squad, you cannot do that. So no rerolling for E2 operators. And if you can clear the night ending, you will get a lot of scores. If you can clear the Scotty Altar ending, you will get a lot of scores. If you clear like those darks and whatnot, you'll get a lot of scores. There's a lot of additional scores that you can get. And other than that, there's also the base score that you can see that was calculated in game. All of that combined will be the total amount of scores. And we're currently planning for this tournament to take place by the end of June, hopefully. And I would say hopefully we can get at least like quite a bit of attendees to compete in our tournament, hopefully. And that's basically it for this video. If you have any question that you want to ask about IS3, you can just leave a comment down below. I will try to answer as many of them as I possibly can. Also, if you want to ask about the tournament, you can also ask me via my Discord as well. That's all fine. I will try to get to them as soon as I possibly can. And that is it for this video. I hope I can see you guys in the tournament, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.